stuff and all the rest of it. Snap the bubble off, and this cable running all through them discs, we need to get it out. Guys said we don't want to cut those, it's all fiber
Jim
optic
Doran
that
is
feeds
getting
down.
together tomorrow.
Okay.
Call the special meeting of the governing body to order here this August 28, 2018 at 7 p.m. at City Hall. Items on the list: executive session to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel regarding the St. John Police Department. Item number 2, discussion of possible hire of employees for the police department. And number 3, bucket truck for electric department. I would entertain a 20-minute executive session to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel regarding the St. John Police Department, to include mayor, council, interview board, which would include city clerk, police sergeant, and county sheriff.
So moved. Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Carries 4-0. We will reconvene at 7:21. Call the meeting back to order at 7:20. I'd entertain a 5-minute recess.
Second.
Right.
Are we legal or illegal?
Well, none of us are attorneys.
I mean, there's nothing about recess.
All we're doing is recessing the meeting for 5 minutes.
Yeah. We're just
See
recessing,
if
we're
that's a
not.
problem.
Well, I know, but I just want to make
Right,
sure it's not
that's
a
fine.
problem.
If you want to check, we can sit here for a moment. There's
Take
nothing
your
wrong
5
with that.
minutes right
Take your
there.
recess.
There's nothing saying we can't sit here and be silent for a few minutes till we figure out what we want to do here.
Well, if it looks bad, you can take a rest or break.
Wink, wink. Yeah, I could.
I'm sure you're fine. Just do it.
Okay. I had a motion and a second. All in favor? All opposed? Carries 4-0. Reconvene at 7:27. Call the meeting back to order at 7:27. I would entertain a motion to extend an offer of $23.75 an hour to Jim Cadet for the position of Chief of Police with a 3-month probation.
So moved. Nope.
Who's taking it?
I'll take it.
Second.
Motion and a second. Brian Sanders. Any other discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Carries 4-0.
There we go.
Okay. Very good. If I could have all the materials from him back. Those are not public. I need do you need the official start date at this time? That didn't need to be included, did it? Which it would be with a proper 2 weeks, so. Okay. Moving on to
Get some help.
item number 3, the bucket truck for the electric department.
The price on that was 18.6. Jeff?
18.6, I think. I didn't bring that stuff in. I got called out and I didn't go back and get my clipboard and stuff, but if I've still got that mail here.
We didn't do it last time because we didn't have full, which we don't have a full council right now, but it's as close as it's probably going to be.
We're more than we were, and this was published on.
I don't have it.
It wasn't last time. but-
Well, I think that's what it was, and I
That
mean, I
is-
guess,
That is providing they don't have to. That is
in my
providing they
opinion,
have
I
to
don't know
change
if it
the-
matters whether it's 18,000 or 19,000. I think we need to fix the truck.
Jeff and I were looking at the budget for 20,000, so the
Yeah,
actual
we figured about
price.
20, because we don't know about the converter and stuff, see?
Right.
So it might be closer to 20 than it is 18.6 before we get done, but
But we found a couple,
we've got a capital outlay fund in electric distribution that we can take it out of. if push comes to shove, we could take it out of equipment reserve. We prefer to leave it alone. And that money's not slated for anything. All the material that we're using now, and the stuff that we're gonna build now through next spring, we've got material for. So we shouldn't have to buy, you know, I mean, we'll have pins and cross arms, a few things like that, but just a few $1,000s
Right.
compared to 10 or 15.
Unless we have a major.
Yeah, unless we'd have something major happen. We've got quite a bit of wire on stock and stuff
And we can move
too,
it,
so.
we can distribute it to where it's not completely depleting one capital.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, we
I mean, we
can.
can work with it to where it's not depleting.
I was gonna say, I'd even be fine if we took a portion of it out of equipment reserve if we needed to, so
Yeah.
it didn't run the other funds.
We'd
Yeah.
like to get through winter, you know, for sure, but I think we can shuffle it around as long as the accountant will let us do what we
Right.
wanna do, we should be fine, so.
And she's been on an audit, so I'm also.
I mean, I
Problem
don't,
with equipment reserve is
It's not-
after, if we took the 20,000 out of equipment reserve, like,
it
we're
puts it down
losing.
to 75, 6.
Well, it would put it down to 50. It put it down to 75,000 when we take the 25,000, or when we take the 20 out. But looking into 19, we're already,
There's a payment in there,
there's
There's
two
a-
payments.
yeah.
The last of the
Cadillac converter.
Catalytic converter, and
Yeah,
then,
looked at it, Jamie, just,
Yeah,
you know, makes me a little bit nervous, just depleting it. Like,
I mean, yeah, I guess
Pull-
if
I
we
mean,
got,
yeah, and if we can pull it from somewhere else, we'll leave that alone, you know. And if we gets to the converter part, the catalytic converter part, there's some capital outlay in the plant that was slated for electronic governor on that number 5 engine about 3 years ago. 4 that the council passed, but we know there's no way we can do it now. So there's 30,000 there that we've kept carrying back and forth, so there's money there to cover that, should it happen. You know, otherwise, you know, we know that we're not gonna be able to fund that equipment reserve next year.
right, right,
It's a 2-year deal before it's even gonna see any money again.
right, right.
And you know, like I say, all the material and the stuff that we got to rebuild for everything I got slated, there's very few things we should have to buy. I mean, we'll be buying some hardware and stuff, but wire-wise, we got plenty. So, because we're gonna convert some 3-phase line to some single-phase and some 2-phase line on dead ends, stuff like that, you know, and clean them up. So we don't have these problems like we had today. That's where a lot of these come from. Closed alley, stuff like that. The insulated conductor that we were gonna run from the rest home west, we've got it on the trailer. We're getting ready to do it as soon as we close the grocery store stuff. So we finally got a crew where we can do it. So we're gonna cut over some line in the morning. We got the material to do all of it. It's been sitting here for 2 years, 2.5 years. So, I mean, we got plenty to do without robbing the bank very much, I think.
Right, right.
So,
Right.
I just don't
Then
know.
we'll be done with the Cadillac converter after this
This
next
year.
2019.
Right,
Will be the
right.
last $20,000 payment.
right.
And the mower will be done. No,
2
he
years.
said- no,
Still?
2 years.
Yeah,
It's
that's-
2020.
Take off the fire truck, which came out of equipment reserve also.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we're down to our last 3.
We got a mower
We got
yet, I
3
think. Do
payments.
we have a mower that's still getting paid out of there?
Yeah.
That new front deck mower
Well, I guess after the mower, everything out of that
is
will
done.
be done,
Yep.
and then the only thing we'll have out on
Payments
anything
is
is
the
the nitrate
It's a
plant.
nitrate plant, yeah.
we sell them vessels for
Yeah.
$1 million, we'll be.
Yeah. Well, I hope you're right. I think we're
Do
gonna,
we-
well, I can't bring that
do
up
we
because it's not on the books for not.
Put a limit, I mean, we don't know really exactly what it's gonna cost.
I'm gonna hope it
Do we
doesn't go
know,
over
do
20.
we know that we have the authority to spend out of those other funds other than equipment reserve? I mean,
Yeah, it's a capital outlay type deal, yeah.
Yeah, capital outlay.
I wanted to
It's
make sure, I
just-
wanted to make sure to
It's
clarify
just a
that.
I wished I
line
could
item.
give you an exact price, but
Right.
see, the catalytic converter plugged up on that truck the first year we had it.
Right.
It was $1,600 to replace it, so Corey told us to cut it out of there, so we did. Well, now it goes back in and they put a motor in it, there's a good possibility they'll put it back in order to warranty it. So there's gonna be some warranty deals in there that, you know, but I wished I could give you a firm price, but I can't.
I think you're just gonna have to motion to get it fixed.
I'm all for just getting it fixed, and I mean, here's the thing, the truck's not any good to us.
Yep.
And
No,
if we
I-
have a bad winter like we did a year or so ago,
And that's what
I
they're
mean,
pushing for.
you can spend that amount of money hiring crews to come in and help you.
Pretty
If
quick,
you have a major,
pretty quick.
pretty quick, couple days.
Just, you know, and it's not a for instance, but we got Stafford coming over to help us tomorrow on a deal over in Alley because we need 2 trucks. I mean, it's just one of those things that,
I don't disagree at all with fixing the truck. I just wanna make sure it comes out of the right fund.
You sure?
And we're not gonna be cutting ourselves in the shorts later
Yeah.
on because it looks like to me the equipment reserve, we have too much more stuff to break down.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna have to start borrowing money.
you know, the stuff up till now, we've tried to leave that alone and use that out of repair out of the separate budgets. I mean, like the dump truck, you know, the trouble we had the dump truck and stuff, it did not come out of the equipment reserve. Now
Right,
it
and
does.
we looked up kind of what it came
Yeah.
out of there.
Yeah, so, you know, as long as this will be by far the biggest expenditure we'll take out of a capital outlay, but I think it's still covered that way.
When would
So-
we get the bill for that? Do you know, 3 months down the road?
I don't have a clue, I really don't, I don't know when we'll get it in. You give me the permission to do it, I'll call them in the morning and I'll know then, you know, when they can get it in.
Is that Marmy's, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it to Marmy's.
I would just.
I mean, it's 18, it's
Yeah, I know,
$1,700
yeah.
higher than going to Pratt.
Yeah.
But when you open the door on that truck in the Ford garage, it's all documented, everything's documented from start to finish. So I think, you know, for the comfort of knowing that if something should go wrong with it, it goes right back up there.
Right.
So I think it's a wise decision to do that.
And I'll make sure to double check.
And they've done 2 of
where
these
it's
trucks
sticking out.
already, so this isn't
Double
new
check
to
with
them.
the.
Right.
So
So
they've got some
Melissa and
experience.
they have to pull the cab off of
Yeah.
it so you get the motor out. But they've done 2 bucket trucks already that belong to Midwest Energy.
What's
So
in capital outlay now?
27, is that right? 27?
No, I think it was like 30 or 40.
Oh, yeah, you're right, it was way more than that. We'll just look.
I think it was 47.
So, I mean, you've looked at the numbers, you're pretty comfortable?
Oh, yeah,
Where
47,
we can pull it
740.
from?
Yeah, and it,
is what it's-
like, cause it's the light, I think it's light production that we were looking at.
This is distribution.
Distribution, light distribution. And I mean, even if we need to split it up.
But we can split it between them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be split
I mean-
between.
I mean, that's, I just
When
don't
it,
want.
when we get the final total, Jeff and I can sit down and make sure that we're not depleting.
Believe me, I don't want
I
to
don't
stand
want
any
it-
worse than you do because it really puts me in a bind if it does.
I don't wanna end up in a predicament where we have to figure out for the next 2 years like we did last year and this year on the budget.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean, I realize the truck needs fixed, but I don't wanna be in such
No,
a bad
no.
deal that, with
Yeah.
the meters.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I guess I'd make a motion to go ahead and have the truck fixed at what it costs to fix it.
I mean,
Let's hope they're not watching the meeting, I mean, I'd say
Not-
20,000, and if it's gonna be more than that,
do you think that's something you can just come back to council on? I mean,
I won't know,
hopefully
I probably
The
won't
thing
know
is
until
we
the
can
ticket
always
comes.
look
I
at
just
the
know
proof
what they
of
wrote it
beyond
for
that
estimated,
delay.
you know, at 18.6.
Right, right.
So,
You wanna-
and I'm hoping that they're
Put
pretty close. I think they've done
I was
enough
gonna
of
say,
it,
do you
should
wanna
be
put
pretty
it for
close.
that?
But like
mean,
I
if
say,
that's
that
what you wanna
converter
do,
could
then
be
I'll
another
second your
deal.
motion on- that's
And I
no
don't know what
problem.
they cost. Corey said about 1,600 when we did that.
I'd make a motion to fix the truck at $20,000, and if it comes in higher than that, we can.
We'll discuss it next meeting,
Discuss
because
that.
you're gonna call tomorrow, right?
I'll call them tomorrow, but it might be 3 weeks before it goes in. So I have no way of knowing.
Okay, so we have a little bit of time, so yeah, I'll second that motion. then.
But we won't know the price, see, until it comes out.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, so, but we're gonna hope we can keep it right in there. I really
Let's hope
am. And I think they're close enough that they would know, so.
Got a motion and a second? Any other discussion? All in favor? All opposed, motion carries 4-0.
Thank you very much. I'll get back with you as soon as I know something. So,
No other business, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion and a second, any other discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Carries.
It was in production. It wasn't in
Adjourned at
distribution,
7:38.
Jamie.
What?
It was in production.